highlight the possibility to compare to the fine bulk of the treatments in the same division, like layered treatments, they are critical. About the sensor, it is uh, data frequency micromedia device, which gained a lot of popularity in my country in the last like 3 or 4 years. But here we have the ability to even make it better than the one that we know so far. The indications for treatment, I mean, it's going to be similar with the other energy-based devices for suiciding or rejuvenation or recalls, but here we have again the possibility to tailor our patient's treatments and still have the control in our hands. Something that is in both ways easy to do is to treat and to not think so much of the all these selected parameters, but still to be able to live by themselves. The machine, is we will see after 2 slides, have the ability to maintain the amount of energy that is generated, something that we do not have so far in the market. A machine that it is measuring the reaction at the screen live during all of the phases and during the whole treatment. So the basic indications for radio frequency microneedling, colon size of aging, improved firmness, skin tightness, tightening, degeneration of elastin collagen, and again to point and to highlight all areas of the body, any time of the year with less and minimal downtime after one treatment or after every other treatment. The main advantage is that the machine, it is the only one most stable-free one night microneedling device, which basically means that we can choose the amount of pulses, the amount of molecules and pulses generated per second during every pulse. And we can choose also the type of draw like generated current, either monopolar or bipolar in the same either bipolar or bipolar combined in the same device, and you can combine in the same sequence in the same patient, depending on your indication and your wanted results. We have the possibility to choose between 10 different types of sticks and needle amount in those selection. Again, we have the variety to go different depths and different indications with the same machine. We have a unique fiber tick, which is giving us twice the amount of the coagulation in private tissue with only one pass, because with this tick, we have two separated areas of producing of edit current, radio frequency current, and in this case, we have two separate areas that we are generating coagulation in the tissue. We have a specific fusion tips which can put in the specific depth 67% more topical penetration of active ingredient, and it is measured exactly at this point. You will see the publications behind that, and also against comparison with different microneedling devices, the amount of penetration of the active ingredient in the skin. And it is the only radio frequency microneedling device with monitoring on the reaction of the tissue, which is the impedance, and the idea is the resistance. If we are generating enough amount of energy, enough amount of currents inside the tissue, and if we're producing this enough amount of energy and heat in the area. All skin types, again, because we have a minimal to no brown dry, which is also much mechanical impact on the surface of the skin, just the right amount, the proper amount, and because it is not something that is generating too much heat inside the thermonuclear junction. Usually, the microneedling radio frequency devices are suitable for all skin types any time of the year. And again, because we have the ability to choose the needle's depth, the needle's amount per tip, we can treat also thinner parts of the body, like upper lower eyelid, also upper lip, neck, decollete, hands, basically, again, all over the body. We are going to compare the positioning of the radio frequency waves to the previous discussed device, the piece of short rope. And we can see in this case that we are treating different depths, different levels of the skin with different types of actually generated heat and generated impact. And this is the idea of combining different modalities during the same session. Again, because we want to achieve better results, much more results sensible for our patient. During one using because know the body have the camera analysis, currently other to the lady should perform different procedures. But also the patient wants to get one visit and to do whatever they can to cover literally their concerns. Here the positioning of the generated current, we have to possibility to treat with 1 minute cycles per second and 2 minute cycles per second, which is going to give us the deconcentration of the generated heat of the generated energy. With the 1 megahertz, we are going to have wider spread of the energy, and the 2 megahertz, we are going to have more efficient because we have on the shorter period of time generated amount of currents in the site. We can monitor and we can choose for every training, for every patient's indication, the intensity of the current applied, the length of time of exposure of the energy, and also the impedance during every performed pulse in the area, which is, again, as we discussed, really important because in this case, we know that we are not missing the target of the skin, we are not missing our opportunity to treat aggressively or intensively enough, and we know that we are not overheating or underheating our tissue, as this is the main idea behind monitoring the impedance and the resistance of the tissue during the whole treatment of every patient. When we are applying the current, the energy, usually we are making production of electron that it's passing through the tissues, and it is generating other cells to again move an electron into producing an electron, and this connection and this movement of the electron at some point is generating heat. So we need to know specifically how much and what is the reaction of the tissue. So that's why it is important to know the impedance of the tissue that we are treating. The idea behind this automatic placement of the needles and also generation of the radio frequency field, it is that the machine is doing everything by itself, so we don't need to drag or to push too much the skin, because in this case we're going to misplace the depth and also the amount of the energy. So that's why I put in the slide here, just to remember that the comfort of the practitioner also is important. We don't need to think so much of making this type of mechanical stimulation of the tissue. The needles in the machine is going to breathe by itself. So if we are doing the treatment, the square shape of the tip, it's really comfortable, also has a light. We can trace each and every pulse one next to the other with minimal overlap, or we're trying to just a little bit touch one of the squares and one of the places to the next one. So first we're going to glide the tip on the surface of the skin. It's good to spray it a little bit, have no contact to be on a flat surface. Then the machine itself is going to introduce the needles to produce the radio frequency current, and right after that we're going to remove needles, place it to the next point. We don't need to drag it. This is something that we need to highlight, because sometimes because of this over mechanical pressure or over handle stimulation, we'll have just much more downtime for the patient than if we are careful and placing it one into the other. The indications for radio frequency microneedling potentiates for improving overall in appearance. It's possible to also improve blemishes. We will see some before and after pictures. With this one, we can also combine it with topical or oral acne treatment, and to reduce the appearance of hypertrophic scars and also the red inner scars that get because of the inflammation. Here we need to just a little bit highlight the depth, because we can choose the depth of the needles, the depth of the energy itself. With the fractionated microneedling prices, we can generate more heat deeper in the tissue, and specifically if we combine it with a teeth with a tiger teeth that will have two separate coagulation level, we will gain and achieve much more tightening of the skin and much more impact than if we use the fractionated laser or mono or bipolar radio frequency without the mechanical impacts of the needle. So here we are combining depth and heat levels and energy levels with like no other machine on the market. As we mentioned, it is the only for mold erythemite clinic on the market because we have the opportunity to choose between mono or bipolar mold. What is the difference with the monopolar mold? We have the one electrode, the plus one, which is the handpiece that is producing the current, and the neutral bus that is going to accept the current or to be the negative one, negative bus. And in his case, we are placing the energy, we're placing the current deeper in the tissue, and we have deeper dispersal of the energy, almost half of the distance between the positive and the negative electrode. So here we have a deeper and wider treatment, which is suitable for darker skin types. And if we want to be a little bit more aggressive to generate the heat a little bit more superficial and more intensive, we're going to choose the bipolar mode, which is exactly in the same machine, generating between each and every of the needle, the positive and the negative electrode. In this case, we have more focused, intense treatment. With other machines on the market, either mono or bipolar, we don't have a combination inside the same machine to choose between of the modalities. And also some of the bipolar machines, they are having the negative or the caustic electrode, one in the middle and the other one is the handpiece itself. So again, we are losing a little amount of the energy for the superficial layers. And in comparison with potential, we have the concentration and the focus of the energy deeper, specifically on targeted areas that we have pre-selected from the machine itself. Again, the difference with 1 million cycles and 2 million cycles per second, it is the spread of the heat and the spread of the energy. If we choose the 1 megahertz, we are going to have less intensive treatment, more suitable for darker skin types. With 2 megahertz, we have the gathering of more pulses per million cycles per second for treatment, so have more goals, more defense treatment. And just to sum up, if we want to be more aggressive, we do 2 megahertz bipolar configuration. If we want to be a little bit milder, we do 1 megahertz monopolar configuration. If we want to treat also a more focused and more deeper at the same time, we can do 1 pass with the monopolar and 1 pass with the bipolar. But again, it's going to be depending on the patient's skin type and the pre-selected areas. So this is something more specific when we're starting to get some more experience with the machine itself. As I mentioned, the impedance, it is monitored 4 times at the end of each pulse. So during every of the areas of the pulses, we have real lifetime idea and information how the skin is reacting. As we discussed, we have 10 different tips of the radio frequency microneedling device. Again, this is a huge variety, not only by the size, by amount, but also by the limitation and by the mechanism of action different the needle. We have the isolated tip, which is basically the whole area of the needle, the whole length of the needle, except the last 0.3 millimeters are with isolation, so they are not losing the energy during the whole length of the needle, but they are going to focus it specifically on the pre-selected depth. And here we have the ability to again treat with mono bipolar mode, so it is flexible depending on the skin type that's going to be different limitations. These needles is suitable for all over the face for peanut areas also. So if you want to treat upper part of the face, lower upper eyelid, we're going to choose this one to persevere gently, focusing the energy specifically on the pre-selected depth. This is a single needle only used with monopolar mode with 1 megahertz. It is going to hit only separate lesions, separate blemishes. And here we are achieving the disinfection and the anti-inflammatory effect because of the heat that we are generating in the pimple itself. Here we can produce more pulses, more time to introduce the needle inside one blemish. And thus we want to basically overheat the area. So this is good for targeted on the areas. This is the tiger pink with the two separate places that we are disposing and we are producing the radio frequency field. In this case, we have the skin tightening effect. So this needle is really suitable for lower parts of the face to make it good, also body, where we want to get the tightening results as much as possible. This is the person need, probably for me, is something unique that I have not seen so far, because we are trying to put active ingredients during our other mycelium treatments or with other devices like Mr. Vegans or other mycelium also on devices. But we are not sure how much of the active ingredient usually is penetrating the skin, and also it's not so consistent. Sometimes the skin can be not on the flat surface, so you will miss some areas, or if we're performing by hands, again, our depth can be different. So in this case, we have, again, the control to penetrate the second amount of active ingredient on the place selected that depth. In this case, we can choose between 0.5 and 2.5 milliliters. And this handpiece, it is working by suctioning the skin and having two chambers with different pressure. So when we are placing the needles and we are performing the radio frequency energy, we are suctioning the skin a little bit. Then the second chamber is going to open and it's going to penetrate with only the pressure, like the negative pressure, penetrate the topical ingredient that we have put prior to the performed pulses. We just put it on the surface of the skin. So first we place the active ingredient, then we place the tip. After that, only the needles are introduced into the area and the radio frequency current it is applied. So no active ingredient until step 2, until this point it is penetrated in the skin. And at the step 4, when opening the second chamber, we are going to push inside the channels, the created channels, the active ingredient. In this case, we are not losing or overheating the topical ingredient because it is placed at the end of every counter-performed pulses. And because the areas are not overheated, we are not going to run a lot more pulses to the area. Or if we do a second pass, the area is going to lose a little bit the amount of the heat. We are not going to damage the active ingredient itself, and we can be sure that the area of the channel is going to get like 67% more active ingredient, as if we compare it with our devices in our little science. Making the performance also the data by Dr. Cobell is she having here the isolated hand pieces then by the side, and the fusion tip against my has a way very blazing. Like that is color. And you can see the consistency of the channel, the depth that is pre-selected with every dose. We have the same amount of active ingredient laid in the skin. And the second one is going to be with the isolation. So if you're trying to work hard or if you're going to work, you don't need to place some topical treatment because the machine itself is going to do the work on the cancer to see it. And to point of module, they are there. And we'll see if the diet, this is the isolated. Here we go. We can see the channels, but we don't see the pressure and the push up inside the ink in the selected there. And you can see with the same settings, the same setting as she was drilled us into the micro channels. So we need the pressure. One of the chambers is stylus, and on the interior sterile top of the left, the place in it, not the coin, best combination there. And this is like with compared to the mesotherapy gun and conventional microneedling device, which is basically the mechanical one. So we have the same depth, the same amount of ink placed inside with the fusion tip and the potenza treatment. The indication varies as we discussed, and also not to forget about other parts of the body, like abdomen stretch marks, also on the thighs, not only on the abdomen. So suitable for all skin types and also all areas in the body. Now, here can be publications, and here this is the study for the potenza fusion tip, which is generating the specific amount of topical penetration of the active ingredient. So again, everything is backed up with enough clinical data and clinical information. The patient's outcomes, this is again the first two the four patients we're going to define. This is for specifically over eye heightening. Here we have used the eye tip, but it will be more intensive with 2 megahertz and bipolar mode, because this is a patient suitable also for surgical removal of the upper eyelid, but she is uncertain if she wants to undergo more invasive treatment, and she prefers to try and to experience first the opportunities of non-invasive treatment. So this is 1 month after one procedure. If she performs more, she will have even better results. In her case, we did not treat only the upper eyelid, it's full face treatment, but specifically because of the focus and current vein concerning, we have treated it this way. For neck, here it is suitable to treat with the S-Tink with the double layered 2 areas of coagulation, because we want the skin tightening and more formulation inside the issue. So really stubborn areas, neck and décolleté, we cannot over-treat, we cannot do like other types of treatment so intensive in the areas. So we need the coagulation with the safety profile. So the S-Tip, the tiger tip, is ideal for this area. Again, this patient, we can focus on the double chin also, because we have a penetration up to 4 millimeters of the tips on almost all of the tips. So we can also target the fat issue in the double chin and the lower part and the jawline. Really suitable to carve a little bit to tie the skin, not only upper but lower part of the face also. This is for overall skin tightening, a little bit reducing the inflammation. It is noticeable but still not complicated enough. Potential alone treatment can sometimes reduce the appearance of melasma and also rosacea, which is highly inflammatory, highly active chronic diseases. Because we are generating pro-inflammatory reaction in your skin, probably it is reducing the unwanted activation of the inflammation cells in a more gentle, more proper way, and that's why we can reduce the appearance of highly active melasma or rosacea in the areas. Still not an indication completely, but we can experience this so far. This is a patient for acne treatment, for acne scar treatment. After 2-3 months, usually month and a half apart, she has a good skin coverage, so she's suitable for S-Stage. But if you want to treat even for parts of the body, or parts of the face, we can do the fully isolated needles. Then this is a abdominal skin tightening procedure. After 2-3 months, a little bit having better appearance overall on the fatting tissue and a lot of reduced laxity of the skin. This area is suitable for S-Tip because we want the granulation inside the tissue, and people have stretch marks. Also, we can do the speckle and the potential treatment is in their protocol. More we can do takes with more needles to have the careful impact of the area also. And this is again the same way treatment schedules. With the fusion kit, in this case, we've placed the hyaluronic acid during the treatment, and we can see the proper reaction to the skin and the desired reaction of the skin during these treatments. It is visible the size and the shape of the headpiece, but this is going to disappear during the day or even 1 hour or 2 hours after the treatment, because it is from the heat. It's not so much generating edema. And this is a little bit, you can hear, it is without the music, how the skin is stuck inside the needles, and also the pressure and the placement from the topical treatment inside the channels. This is with a little bit overlap, more because this handpiece is working in this case, and again suitable for all parts of the bone and all skin types. You can see a little bit up there the erythema and erythema, which is normal reaction for the skin, and specifically she is a patient with a little bit thicker skin, so it's normal to be more visible. A little bit of large pores, and we can then cross over and continue to gather all of the pulses in the area close one to another, so it's not like a second fast, but we are covering areas that we have missed in the first pass on the area. Usually we can use before this treatment topical anesthesia. with the Premature Pro, we don't need to prepare the skin. We don't need any type of anesthesia, but with Potenza, it is usually advisable for the patient to be prepared before that. And right now, the idea behind combining energy treatments, as we discussed, we are exposing our energy and fuel levels to the skin. And in this case, we are even covering even more of our patients' concerns. If they want to have the silk-like effect, the better skin appearance without pores, without any changes in the color, and we want to get the wow effect with even one procedure. This is the idea of combining two different modalities and two different energies. With the Premature Pro, and as we discussed, we are concentrating the energy about the double epidemic junction, and we have some amount of all about elastin and production in the dermis and the potential. Again, on the second picture, we can see the dent pre-selected and chosen again because of the indications of our patient. We have multiple treatment areas. We are going to choose our settings depending on our patient's concerns. As if we're going to treat like melasma, we're going to use the flat hand pieces with the specific selected parameters, and after the treatment, we can continue with the Potenza radiofrequency microneedling treatment in the same session. It is not overheating the skin, it's not overheating the tissue, so the recovery period is not going to be twice the amount and twice more severe, but it is going to stay in the day and in the same way as if you divide the treatments. The here results with minimal to no downtime is going to give us treating of multiple skin concerns. We are going to achieve results faster because we are going to have an all skin tightening or better appearance of the skin, like you are doing 2 separate treatments in one day. Shorter recovery period because we are going to stick in the same visit and longevity of the results again because you are generating twice the amount of hydroblast activity and also twice the amount of cytokine activity treated in these two different modalities. In this like here, we're going to place just a few of the names that are staying behind the idea of Cynoglow, and this is the first official original BDR protocol for combining two treatments. Before that, it was not something that we have gathered enough information that is working in the broader way. But I'm sure again has the information straight direct from the practitioners that this is generating enough clinical evidence and clinical results for you to be sure that can offer to your patients and for you to be sure that you know what results are going to get after the treatment. Also, this is some of really well-known names working for years with Ansure devices, and they are focusing their practices, focusing in these areas in this way to combine treatments in the same unit. This is the idea to even improve our practices from, as we mentioned, from premium to prestige. This is again just to highlight a little bit the possibility. Most of the patients here are blemishes with some amount of rosacea or pigmentation. They're provided, you can see there by which of the doctors and which of the practitioners. So I'm going to stay all of this time during each and every of the patient because I don't know the settings of the treatment. But again, it's going to be up to you to treat it depending on the areas in the specific indication. Just combining both of the modalities in the same way. I meant with the whole variety, the whole range of the power of the machines and the whole range of the indications that they can treat. At the end, I have shown my patients. I'm going to skip and go to them completely. This is a patient of mine. She has not been done anything before her first visit to the clinic. And her main concerns is the pointed double cheek and also the jowls, again, which is normal for her skin type, for a little bit more heavy face, and also for her age group. She did not wanted any injectable treatments. She wanted again first to start and to see without being related treatment what she can maintain and she can make better. So we decided to do treatments with the combination of modalities with Premature Pro and Potenza. Full face treatments. This is the modalities and this is the energy placed and the way that we can perform the treatments. and the patient is taken 40 or 50 days after the initial treatment with almost 80 to 90% reduction of the jowls. Again, we can achieve a little bit more result if we continue in the same way with the overall skin tone, because we can focus more focus lens, flat lens in the same visit. But her main concern, which is the jowls, is completely or almost completely gone with only one visit 50 days apart. She's suitable for injectables for sure for the offers of our parts of the face, because we know the activity of the muscles cannot be reduced with energy-based devices. But again, this is going to be according to the patient satisfaction levels and also the patient's idea if she wants to continue with injectable treatments or not. Also, something to think about, we can combine with staying busy. There's some areas, injectables and this type of energy-based devices. Again, because we are going to give the active ingredient to give the procedure on a different level. So really suitable for patients that are having active and really busy lifestyle. This is a patient's skin type 4. She is not taking care of her skin like sun protecting. She is using sun things like so-called artificial sun tanning vessel, and she's presented with this sun damage and hyperpigmentations on both sides of the face, also a variety, also neck, decollete, and hand. And this is only after 1 treatment, I think 3 weeks in distance between two of the procedure, because we can see that some of the areas on the after pictures are still a little bit reddish because of the more focused treatments on the areas. And also one of the hypopigmentation is still a little bit darker, which is a common reaction if we treat pigmentation. We have the reaction of the skin to gain a little bit more intensive pigment during the first few days. She needs to moisturize a little more and to be more careful outside of the sun. But we can see clearance, especially in the upper part of the temporal region and on the cheekbones, clearance of the pigment lesions, and also clearance of these really stubborn small wrinkles around the eyes. Again, with one session with selected and showed parameters on this area, and we can continue to treat her. I prefer in this case if I'm seeing erythema a few weeks after the treatment to give a little bit more time for the skin to completely heal and to reduce the inflammation process, and then to continue with the same again, the same treatments for her, or in another way that she is going to react even better if we treat her at the second time again. And this is for the launching of the Cynoglow Belair protocol. This is our marketing campaign. These two models are going to undergo they have already been undergoing a procedure with Dr. Kogno, which is the one of the doctors first introduced to the Cynoglow sequential treatment protocol. And if this there right after the procedure feedback of how they have they're feeling their skin, what is their main concern, and this is summing up almost all of our patients' concerns, especially Generation Z, because they're influenced a lot from the social media, TikTok, Instagram. You know it, when somebody is saying that they need to have glass-like skin or really tight, even skin tones, they're going to search for this pigment, and they want to have a specifically promise they want to have exactly this result. So this is the idea behind this campaign. Hi everyone, my name is Arvinita and I'm 24 years old. I'm a full-time model, influencer, and nobody. Hi, my name is Eva, I'm 37 years old and I work full-time as a model. And I came today to Cumberland Communication Week. I'm so happy to be here for the treatment. Good skin to me, especially with my job as a model, working every day with different makeup artists, means to have a nice texture and smooth texture with natural glow and fine pores and with a beautiful shine, you know. You don't need no makeup, no products, and it looks amazing. So for me to maintain a nice skin is having the right skincare for me, using moisturizer with SPF, good healthy food, and as well as good treatments, of course. And all the very sensitive skin. And 3 years ago, I had periodontitis, and it was a very terrible time for me because I couldn't work more. So I didn't realize that before I went to bed, I had to cleanse my face and remove the makeup. I was having pimples and then covering up again with foundation, and I didn't realize that that had to be cleansed before going to sleep. I am happy, but as a human being, we are never satisfied with our looks. Oh, yes, it's okay, but it can be better. So I would say I'm happy, but still needs more improvement. Oh my God, is that me? Really, that's not me. Oh, I'm not a model here. Is this really my skin? So I saw the picture and I really thought about it. I need a treatment. I think I really need a treatment now. So I'm looking really forward to doing this treatment for me. Like, it will make me so happy and boost my self-confidence. I work every day, every week, and I'm so happy to do it today because I can't do the show tomorrow because the downtown is very, very short. And I'm so happy to go to Berlin tomorrow for the Fashion Week. So if it was titled coming in the main nation, thank you very much. I'm so glad I had this done. The doctor was so kind and everything went well. How about you? I think my answer is there, but I think that's okay. Yeah, definitely worth it. After the treatment, my skin feels healthier, my surface softer. To be honest, I expected to be more matte, but it is not. And the next day, everything is suddenly gone. So I feel it. I'm not gay, so I have a sensitive skin and I feel something, but it was like a little stitching, it was really, really okay for me. So my wishes were so that my skin is more fresher, beautiful, natural, and of course I want to look a little bit younger. I wish that my skin will become 10 times better than it was, and we could see on the street I had problems forward. And now it's going to be a lot much better and the texture would be even better. I would 100% recommend this treatment to my partner because he doesn't really look much after his pictures and his texture, so I think this would be perfect for him. Of course, to my friends, to my mom, to my father lady, and everyone who will want to have a beautiful skin. Thank you everyone for watching me go through this treatment. I'm looking forward to see the kind of the soul. Okay. So, again, consider ways of questions about it, or if we want, we can reintroduce also and welcome to the stage of the color because that takes you this. Finish our meetings today. Thank you, Dr. Ari. I can't do it.
Thank you, Dr. Marina, for the presentation, and welcome Dr. Huda Safar. She would share the experience using the both technologies, and just for your information, Dr. Huda Safar and her esteemed doctors are one of the first users, not only in Kuwait, but even in the Middle East for this technology. And we would like to thank him for this. Thank you. Cool. Hello. So, yes, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Doctor, for this nice presentation. And I hope that I want to stay down. Okay, so we bought this machine, EcoShore, from the beginning when it reached Kuwait, actually. I'm not sure, I cannot remember when, it was 2000, maybe 16 or 17. And it was an amazing machine. It can bring many patients to you because it's a unique machine, it's one of a kind. using the picosecond at the first. So then we started to see many complicated cases. What you're gonna see in Kuwait, actually, I'm gonna add to the doctor, and we are seeing many lichen planus post-inflammatory pigmentation. Those patients are desperate. I immediately do combination of treatments. First, I do fractional laser, and then I do many sessions, like 3 to 5 sessions of PicoSure, using focus lenses, and this depends on the skin of color and the type of skin. I choose the tip, the focus tip. So the one that didn't use the machine will not understand, but once you use it, you will get it. It will like dissolve the pigment and make it from like a sand to a flower. So just to make it easier for you to understand. So like in Hans patients, I have a huge success of treating those cases in combination treatments. So because we see those cases, and I think you agree about those cases. We use it to remove BBI. Usually we don't recommend to use to remove BBI just to see the changes of the ADC, but we don't have that much in Kuwait. So many patients had many moles on the faces they hate, so we can use zoom lenses. So why did we get Pico Pro? Because we want to get a new machine that's fast. We can use a powerful. We can adjust the power and change the numbers. So that's why we got the Pico Pro, and we just got it actually. So we left the PicoSure, the first machine for the beauticians and for the nurses to use, and now we bought the Pico Pro to be used more professionally and maybe more complicated cases such as deep dermal, deep nevi, blue nevus, especially affecting the face, tattoo that's not being removed easily. Okay. So that's why we got the Pico Pro, and we're gonna share this experience with you later once we start using this OS. Okay. I want to say something about the Potenza machine. Potenza machine, we brought it first. It's a unique machine, and I use many radio frequencies, and this machine is unique actually. I saw the differences. I will tell you my experience. I use the Boteza for drug delivery odds. Okay, I use DLL8, and I use the CP21 hand tip. So it will actually deliver the products deeply, and you will see a huge difference in the pores. Many patients will come to you with pores. That's the main issue. And I use many machines, but when I do this, I do a fractional, and then I combine later after 2 months, I ask the patient to come back to do Potenza. So I use Potenza with VLL8. Huge difference for acne scars, for pores. And you have the take-home message from all of this, that you have to combine treatments. Combine treatment safely, not, using the most aggressive way. Just use it, first you should start easily with small cases, and we can help anytime if any doctor would like perhaps share any information. We can do that actually. So that's all what I want to say, and thank you for this nice meeting. And if anybody had question about any machines, so well, thank you so much for organizing this. It was very helpful. Thank you, doctor, for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you, doctor, for sharing your experience. I can share my experience more. And
We will, of course. And now I thank you all, our attendees, and only I'd like to highly appreciate our speakers for today, Dr. Mariella and Dr. Huda Safar.
I'm going to update. Can we have please any questions we can? We're ready actually for questions. If anyone has any questions for the doctors, if it's for P-Kosher or for Potenza, please feel free.
Most of the doctors, I think, they want to ask about the differences, radio frequencies, other machines than Potenza, and why we're going to choose Potenza over the rest, other than, just like
Yeah, with you was and highlight again because of your possibilities combined with one machine. You can need possibilities to treat every type of skin like cover devices, those are in big areas because you have the ability to feel between small and bipolar 1 and 2 megahertz in the same machines with the ability to be either in the same session. If you have with other brands, we have only one side of the either mono or bipolars, not combined to go in the one device. Also, not all of the machines are true bipolar, most true bipolar radio frequency devices because one of the poles, like positive or negative, is the handpiece itself, and it's not the needles inside. And with Potenza, we have the needles and two generating both positive and negative inside the handpiece that can generate deeply enough and in the specific area the electron flow and the energy inside. If you are misplacing the radio frequency field, you will have first less energy penetrating in the specific area. Also, we are going to have energy not in the proper plane, like the more downtime or we breathe marks for probably weeks or months if it's not in the proper plane or in the proper direction. And also, this is measured that it is deep enough for millimeter treatments with Potenza. Because with other machines, you can have the possibility to treat deeper. It's not advisable at face trace, again, because of deep adverse reactions. So with darker skin types, with skin types that we have the possibility to have outcomes like both inflammatory hyperpigmentations, we need to know where we are focusing, then again, how we can to improve the safety profiles, the safe treatment for their patients. So here we have this.
Because we have the mono and bipolar, whereas the monopolar, we use the ground plate for those patients with a doctor skin type, and also we have we have to reduce the power, but the depth we can keep with that. It's the same. So we will get results given for doctor skin types. You will not be scared.
Thank you. Thank you. No questions?
And we're experiencing the last because machines. Could you tell us, sir, this
Yes, the melasma is a chronic thing. We know that. It's a chronic issue. So we tell the patient after this patient needs multiple treatments. Let's say from 3 to like 6 or 7, but the patient has to do the laser as a maintenance. So, and also we can combine it with tranexamic acid. We can combine it with injection and tranexamic acid, or even oral tranexamic acid, in order to see results. But faster results with the PicoSure, especially focus lens.
I will down that both of the lenses. For sure, can
I like,
yeah, send you lens. Yeah,
it's fractionated and
concentrated set 20% and more in the street. My experience is the same. We can combine every modalities to reduce the asthma outbreaks. It is good to add it to the possibility of treating with the PicoSure and with the Cynoglow. But here you have the security of taking different skin types if they have melasma outbreak, you will not damage and inflame it more and activate it more because it is photoacoustic way and not the thermal damage that the picosecond is performing. So this is the safety profile for melanoma tree. Yeah, could be those. Other questions? No? That kind is shown also women to they take so thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing your feedback. Just want to give you a small sign first from Cynoglow. And thank you very much for sharing all the experience and coming to play for this. Yeah, to that. And also for the Lieutenant of course, the third is that thank you so much for sharing also with people, James. And thank you all for joining us today and enjoy the dinner. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Cynthia. And everybody, and they come to assist in the available on the abolition side.